The cold metallic halls of the Zartak Deep Space Monitoring Station hummed with quiet anticipation. Commander Rolik leaned forward, his four-fingered hand sliding across the holographic display. Strange energy signatures were dancing across the screen, patterns unlike anything his species had ever encountered. Analyze, he commanded the central computer system. Tiny blue-green dots representing data points began to cluster around a distant solar system. Most monitoring officers would have dismissed these readings as cosmic background noise. But Rolik was different. His reputation for meticulous investigation had earned him numerous commendations. J. Park had no idea he was being watched. In a nondescript research facility near Seoul, he was debugging a new electromagnetic pulse prototype. His fingers moved swiftly across multiple computer screens, lines of code flickering like digital lightning. Outside his window, industrial parks stretched toward distant mountains, looking mundane and unremarkable. The Zartak scanning systems began compiling comprehensive data. What they saw confused their advanced algorithms. This planet seemed simultaneously primitive and extraordinarily complex. Industrial zones produced energy signatures that suggested continuous weapon development, yet the inhabitants appeared oblivious to their own potential. Rolik zoomed into the planetary scans. Manufacturing centers, research complexes, and technology. Parks covered significant geographical regions. Each location radiated a unique technological resonance. Most intriguing was how casually these humans seemed to treat weapon creation, as if designing destructive technology was no more remarkable than brewing morning coffee. In his lab, Jay adjusted a small circuit board. The device he was creating could disable electronic systems across several kilometers. To him, this was merely another engineering challenge. He had no concept that alien eyes were studying his every movement, interpreting his work as a potential galactic threat. The Zartak monitoring station began running deeper computational analyses. They discovered something unprecedented, an entire species that treated technological innovation as a cultural practice. Weapon design wasn't just a military activity, it was a form of human artistic expression. Rolik's secondary analyst, a younger officer named Weimar, noticed something extraordinary. These humans were developing technologies at a rate that defied conventional evolutionary progress. Each technological breakthrough seemed to spawn multiple additional innovations, creating a cascade of rapid advancement. Fascinating, Rolik muttered, his translator rendering the word in multiple alien linguistic patterns. The scans revealed more. Research centers weren't just military installations. Universities, private laboratories, and even what appeared to be hobbyist workshops were continuously producing technological mutations. A teenager in one location could be designing a miniature drone while a government research team developed quantum communication systems. J. Park finished his current prototype and stretched. He had no idea that his small act of engineering was being interpreted as a potential interstellar weapons development. To him, this was just another day of solving complex technological puzzles. The Zartak monitoring systems began preparing initial reports. Their preliminary conclusion was both terrifying and confusing. Earth wasn't just a planet. It was a massive, planet-wide weapon forge, with every citizen potentially a component in an incredibly complex technological ecosystem. Rolik knew what came next. Standard galactic protocols demanded a comprehensive threat assessment. This planet would require careful, meticulous investigation. Whatever was happening on Earth was unlike anything the Zartak hegemony had ever encountered. As night fell over Seoul, J. Park locked his laboratory and headed home, completely unaware that alien intelligence was studying his every professional movement. The first seeds of an interstellar confrontation had been planted, not through military aggression, but through a simple human desire to solve complex technological challenges. The universe was about to learn that humanity was far more than it appeared. The Zartak stealth vessel hovered silently in Earth's orbital space, its advanced camouflage technology rendering it invisible to human detection systems. Analyst Vima led a small reconnaissance team, their mission clear: understand the technological ecosystem of this mysterious planet. Hana Kim walked into her military research center, her laptop bag slung casually over her shoulder. She had no idea alien eyes were tracking her every movement. The morning briefing would discuss adaptive defense technologies, concepts that would send shockwaves through extraterrestrial intelligence networks. Vima's first breakthrough came through digital surveillance. Humans communicated through a complex network called the Internet, sharing technological ideas with remarkable openness. Engineering forums, research publications, and even social media platforms became windows into human innovation. They discovered something unprecedented. Humans treated technological competition like a global sport. Conferences where engineers showcased new technologies were analyzed like competitive events. Each presentation wasn't just a technical demonstration, it was a performance, a challenge to other researchers to push boundaries further. In a small workshop in Tokyo, a young engineer was redesigning drone communication systems. His sketches and prototype would be shared online within hours, potentially inspiring thousands of other researchers worldwide. The Zartak team realized this was no ordinary knowledge transfer. This was a living, breathing technological organism. Military. Research centers were particularly fascinating. Unlike rigid alien research structures, human military technology development seemed fluid, adaptive. Researchers moved between civilian and military projects with ease. A technology developed for medical purposes could quickly be adapted for defensive applications. Hana Kim's presentation that day focused on adaptive armor systems. Her team had developed nanomaterials that could rapidly change molecular structure in response to different types of physical or energy-based attacks. To her, this was another engineering challenge. To the watching aliens, this was a demonstration of technological evolution in real time. The Zartak team began compiling psychological profiles. They discovered that human innovation wasn't just about technology. It was deeply connected to cultural concepts of competition, creativity, and problem-solving. Failure was not seen as a setback, but as a necessary step toward improvement. Universities became primary observation points. Young researchers worked on projects that seemed to blur lines between disciplines. A computer science student might collaborate with a materials engineer, creating hybrid solutions that defied traditional scientific categorization. Vima's most startling discovery came from monitoring global technology competitions. Events where researchers from different countries and disciplines would gather to solve complex challenges. These weren't just academic exercises, they were gladiatorial contests of human ingenuity. One such competition focused on developing sustainable energy solutions. Teams from universities, private companies, and research institutions competed to create the most efficient solar collection system. The winning design would be immediately shared, allowing global improvement. The alien team realized they were witnessing something extraordinary. Humans didn't just develop technology, they celebrated it. Innovation was a cultural heartbeat, pumping creative energy through global networks. Rolik received Vima's initial report with growing concern. These humans were not just developing weapons, they were creating a dynamic, ever-evolving technological ecosystem where every citizen could potentially contribute to massive scientific breakthroughs. As night fell across different time zones, research continued. In labs, workshops, and home offices, humans kept pushing technological boundaries. Each line of code, each circuit design, each theoretical model was another piece of a massive global puzzle of innovation. The Zartak team's conclusion was both terrifying and fascinating. Earth was not a planet with technology. Earth was technology itself, a living, breathing, constantly evolving system of human creativity. Vima knew their next report would challenge everything the Zartak hegemony understood about technological development. Humanity was not just a species, they were a force of continuous, unpredictable innovation. The universe was about to be rewritten, one breakthrough at a time. The Zartak High Command Chamber was silent, tension thick as Commander Rolik projected. The reconnaissance data. Holographic displays showed Earth's technological landscape, a complex web of innovation that looked more like a living organism than a planetary network. This is not just a civilization, Rolik stated, his voice crisp and controlled. "This is a weapon production system disguised as a society." The senior commanders studied each detail. Universities became weapon design laboratories. Engineering competitions transformed into potential military strategy sessions. Every technological breakthrough seemed to have a potential defensive or offensive application. Sung Choi worked quietly in his underground research facility, completely unaware of the galactic-level discussions happening about his species. His current project involved developing nanocomposite materials that could self-repair and adapt to different environmental conditions. What humans considered routine technological development, the Zartak saw as existential threat. A medical, nanotechnology research project could become an advanced battlefield healing system. A communication network design could potentially become an unbreakable strategic communication platform. The most alarming discovery was human adaptability. Traditional, alien military strategies relied on predictable technological progression. Humans seemed to have no such limitations. A failure was immediately transformed into a new opportunity for innovation. Military analysts in the Zartak command calculated potential scenarios. Each simulation showed humans rapidly developing countermeasures faster than any known galactic species. Their technological ecosystem was not just productive, it was dynamically evolutionary. Rolik highlighted a particular research conference where engineers from different countries collaborated on an advanced energy transmission project. What seemed like a simple academic exercise could potentially become a revolutionary weapon delivery system. The high-ranking commanders argued. Some demanded immediate preemptive action, others wanted more comprehensive study. But all agreed on one fundamental observation. Humans represented an unprecedented technological threat. Sung Choi's current research perfectly illustrated their concerns. He was developing a communication network that could operate through multiple quantum states simultaneously. To him, this was an interesting engineering challenge. To the aliens, this was a potential galactic communication disruption technology. Human technological development followed no traditional patterns. A teenager could develop a drone modification in her garage. A small research team could create a breakthrough that would reshape entire industrial sectors. Their innovation moved like liquid, filling every possible technological space. The Zartak threat assessment revealed something more profound. Humans did not just create technology. They lived through technology. Every aspect of their society was a potential innovation platform. Education, entertainment, social interactions, all were interconnected technological experiences. Military simulations became increasingly complex. Human response strategies were impossible to predict. Traditional invasion tactics would become obsolete the moment they were implemented. The humans would already be developing countermeasures. Rolik's final recommendation was controversial. "We cannot approach this as a traditional military threat," he explained. "Humans are not developing weapons. They are continuously reimagining the concept of technological existence." The chamber fell silent. The implications were clear. Humanity represented something beyond a potential enemy. They were a dynamic, unpredictable technological force that could reshape entire galactic paradigms. As the Zartak High Command deliberated, Sung Choi finished his day's work, unaware that alien civilizations were discussing the potential threat his species represented. To him, it was just another day of solving interesting technological puzzles. The universe watched and waited, sensing that something extraordinary was about to unfold. The first Zartak invasion ships breached Earth's atmosphere with calculated precision. Their technology represented centuries of refined galactic warfare, sleek, powerful, seemingly unbeatable. They expected a traditional military response. They were wrong. J-Park's experimental weapon systems came online within seconds of detecting the first alien vessel. What looked like a standard research laboratory transformed into a rapid response command center. Computers that moments ago were analyzing electromagnetic pulse technologies now became sophisticated defense coordination systems. The alien invasion fleet expected organized military resistance. Instead, they encountered something far more terrifying, a completely adaptive technological ecosystem. Universities emptied as engineering students became impromptu defense strategists. Research centers transformed their projects into combat-ready technologies. What the aliens saw as a peaceful planet suddenly revealed its true nature, a global weapon forge with every citizen a potential technological warrior. Hannah Kim coordinated the initial defense strategy from a mobile command center. Her team wasn't just responding to the invasion, they were turning the alien attack into a live technological testing ground. Each alien weapon strike became an opportunity to understand, analyze, and develop countermeasures. The Zartak invasion, Force discovered something horrifying. Human technology didn't just defend, it learned and evolved in real time. A weapon used against one city would be comprehensively analyzed, and a defensive solution would be developed and distributed globally. Within hours, drone technologies initially designed for agriculture became reconnaissance platforms. Communication networks meant for social media transformed into encrypted military communication systems. Every technological system humans had developed became a potential weapon. Sung Choi's quantum communication network, previously a theoretical research project, became a critical coordination platform. Military units, civilian researchers, and emergency services communicated through an adaptive network that the aliens couldn't intercept or disrupt. The invasion became a bizarre technological dance. Alien ships would deploy a weapon, and within minutes human teams would develop a comprehensive defensive or counter-offensive solution. What should have been a straightforward military conquest turned into a nightmare of continuous technological adaptation. Global cooperation happened instantaneously. Research teams from different countries shared data in real time. A breakthrough in Japan would be integrated into defense systems in Brazil within minutes. The entire planet functioned like a single, massive, adaptive organism. Alien commanders watched in growing horror. Their battle simulations collapsed. Every strategy they implemented was instantly studied, understood, and neutralized. Humans didn't just defend. They transformed the invasion into a global innovation challenge. Military bases became innovation centers. Engineering competitions that once focused on sustainable technologies now targeted alien weapon systems. Teenagers developed drone modifications. University researchers created electromagnetic disruption technologies. Every citizen became a potential technological warrior. The Zartak fleet realized they weren't fighting a military. They were battling an entire planet's creative potential. Each attack revealed more about human technological capabilities, which were immediately analyzed and integrated into global defense strategies. J. Park's team developed a weapon system that could directly interface with alien technological frequencies, effectively turning the invaders' own communication networks into defensive platforms. What would have taken years in traditional military research happened in hours. As the invasion progressed, it became clear this was no ordinary conflict. The aliens had mistaken technological innovation for weakness. Instead, they had awakened a global system of continuous adaptive creativity. The battle was transforming from a military confrontation into a complex technological dialogue. Humans weren't just defending. They were learning, evolving, and reimagining the very concept of technological warfare. The universe watched, understanding that something fundamental had changed. Humanity was not just surviving, they were turning an alien invasion into the most comprehensive technological research project in galactic history. The confrontation had begun, and humanity was just getting started. The remnants of the Zartak invasion fleet hung in Earth's orbit, battered and fundamentally transformed. Commander Rolik understood now what his species had catastrophically misunderstood. Humans were not a threat to be eliminated, but a civilization to be understood. Hannah Kim led the initial communication protocols. Her team had already analyzed alien communication frequencies, developed translation algorithms, and prepared diplomatic strategies, all within 72 hours of the first invasion attempt. The speed was unprecedented in galactic diplomatic history. Rolik requested a direct communication channel. What he expected was military negotiations. What he encountered was something entirely different, a collaborative problem-solving approach that defied all traditional diplomatic frameworks. J. Park and his research team were already analyzing alien technological systems. They didn't view the invasion as a conflict, but as a massive data acquisition opportunity. Each alien technological fragment became a research specimen, something to be understood, decoded, and potentially integrated. The negotiation wasn't about surrender or victory. It was a technological and cultural exchange that would reshape galactic understanding. Humans approached the conversation with a mixture of scientific curiosity and strategic thinking that confused the alien commanders. "We are not interested in conquest," Hana explained through the advanced translation systems. "We are interested in understanding and collaboration." The Zartak delegation discovered that human diplomatic approach was fundamentally different from any known galactic civilization. They didn't seek territorial expansion or resource acquisition. They sought knowledge, innovation, and mutual growth. Sung, Joy's quantum communication network, became the primary negotiation platform. It could simultaneously translate, analyze, and predict communication patterns, making the diplomatic exchange a seamless technological dance. The aliens realized they had encountered something unique. Humanity wasn't a military civilization or a resource extraction society. They were a dynamic, continuously evolving technological organism that viewed challenges as opportunities for growth. Commander Rolik's report to the Zartak High Command would forever change galactic understanding. Humans were not a species to be feared or conquered. They were potential partners in a complex evolving universe. The negotiation revealed layers of human potential. Their approach to problem-solving was so adaptive that the alien delegation found themselves learning more than they were teaching. Every discussion became a mutual exploration of technological and cultural possibilities. Technological exchanges began immediately. Alien energy transmission technologies were analyzed by human researchers. Human adaptive communication systems fascinated the Zartak communication specialists. What started as a potential war became a comprehensive knowledge transfer. The universe watched this unprecedented interaction. A species that had been misunderstood as a potential threat was revealing itself as a civilization of continuous innovation, creativity, and collaborative potential. Rolik understood now why traditional invasion strategies had failed. Humans didn't just resist. They transformed challenges into opportunities. Their entire civilization was a living, breathing system of continuous adaptation and innovation. The final negotiation document wasn't a treaty of surrender or submission. It was a comprehensive collaboration agreement that would reshape galactic technological and cultural understanding. Humans had turned an invasion into a scientific and diplomatic opportunity. As communication continued, both civilizations realized something profound. They were not enemies. They were different expressions of universal potential, one shaped by traditional galactic development, the other by continuous adaptive innovation. The first steps toward a new galactic understanding had begun, and humanity was leading the way, not through military might, but through an unprecedented capacity for creativity, adaptation, and collaborative growth. The universe would never be the same.